Hello, in this video we're going to be talking about some of the benefits and third-party integrations that you have in Paragon, and some of the benefits that you have. These are all free through your MLS membership. So let's take a look at some of these. I'm going to scroll down here. I'm on the home page of Paragon, and I'm going to scroll down here under MLS tools, and this is what we're going to be looking at in this video. So I'm going to start up here in the upper left hand corner with Supra. Supra is the company that provides our lockboxes, and they also provide the keys to that you have on your phone. So if you don't have a Supra key, you do have to make an appointment to get one. There is some information here under Supra, so if we click on that icon, it does bring some information up. And it just reminds us that right now we're not having foot traffic, but we can give you your key on your phone. It does have to be on a smartphone. And it just lets you know to call the building here to set up an appointment here with Lois. That will get you your key on your phone, and you can get into any boxes. We have reciprocal access with Supra keys, which means that if you are opening a box, a Navarre, an Emerald Coast Association of Realtors, a Central Panhandle Association of Realtors box, you'll be able to open any of those just like you're opening a Pensacola box, because we've got reciprocal access, and that comes to you as no additional cost, and it's automatic when you put the key on your phone, and it will allow you to open any boxes from here all the way down to the Apalachicola area. So we've got reciprocal access in place for that. The other things that you can find here in this area is if you ever purchase a used lockbox from another agent, there is a transfer form here. That's very important that you give us those transfer forms because when Supra decides to upgrade their boxes, what they do is they take a list of everybody who has a box already that's in their name, and they do a one-for-one swap. So in other words, you're giving them your old worn out box, and they're handing you back a brand new one at no extra cost. So it's very important that you have those boxes in your name in our system. So that's why that transfer form exists, for you to let us know that you have purchased a box from someone else. There are some other kind of instructional videos here for e-keys and things if you need to use those. But basically, this is all just here on our homepage again. Excuse me, I am under MLS tools. The next thing I want to talk about is syndication. So ListHub is our official syndication company. What ListHub does is it takes all of our active listings and it pushes it out to somewhere between 80 and 100 different websites. So this is a place that you can click here. It's going to give you some information on how to create a ListHub account. You do have to have an active listing to be able to create an account with ListHub. So if you're brand new, you don't have a listing yet, it will not recognize you in the system. But as soon as you have an active listing in the system, you can come in here. If you're a broker, obviously you're going to create a broker login. There's also an agent login here for agents. And what that does is it allows you to log in. It's going to give you hit counts and different information as far as where your listings are going, how many people are looking at your listings on what websites. So it will give you some great information, and information that you can also email and pass along to your sellers as far as where their listing is sitting, how many people are looking at it, that type of thing. So I do encourage you to log into ListHub when you get an active listing and create your account. If you ever need to know, if your client ever asks you, where does my listing go online, there is a link here that will list all of the ListHub publishers. So you can click on this link, and it's going to give you basically a logo view of every website that your listing is going to get pushed to. So you can actually come here and print this out for any sellers that are curious about where their listing goes. So I just want to let you know that this is here. Again, you can print this out, but this is all of their syndication partners. These are all sites that your active listing is being pushed out to. The other thing that you need to know about this is that we do not syndicate contingent listings. So active is the only status that we syndicate once the listing becomes contingent. As of PAR MLS rules and regulations, that means that it is under contract, so it is no longer an active listing. The rules say that you do have to mark those within 24 hours contingent, and then once they are contingent, they will stop syndicating out as active listings. So that is something that you also need to know about our syndication. All right, back here to our MLS tools. HomeSnap is the next one that I want to talk about. So HomeSnap was a company that started with, it's an app basically. So if you want to think of it this way, PAR MLS does not have an official app. They do have a mobile site, but it is not an app that you can download. So what what Paragon did is they partnered with HomeSnap to give you what's called a free pro account. So as a member of PAR MLS, as a real estate agent, you have a free HomeSnap Pro account. So you can come in into HomeSnap, you can let them know that you are a real estate agent, and what that will do for you is allow you to have an app on your phone, and it will allow you to see everything that you can see in Paragon as an agent. So you're going to have access to agent notes, you'll have access to commissions, that type of thing that you would not have unless you had a pro account. So these are some instructions here on how to get to your free HomeSnap Pro account. I do encourage you to download the app. HomeSnap got started as the company that you could stand in front of a home and take a photo, and it would recognize it by the GPS and everything, and give you all kinds of great public information or county information on that listing. They still do that. That is pretty much how they got their start, and now they are kind of an everything to the real estate world. So I do encourage you, again, HomeSnap is our official Paragon app. If you really are looking for an app to download and put on your phone, I would recommend HomeSnap Pro. It's great information. It's a great way to search the MLS on your phone, especially if you're not comfortable or familiar with our mobile site. So this is, again, this is free for you to take advantage of as an MLS member here with us. Okay, the next one I want to talk about here is the Gulf Coast CMLS. I do believe I covered this a little bit in the first video, but I do want to just remind you that the Gulf Coast CMLS is our official commercial multiple listing service for the Gulf Coast, for the Pensacola Association of Realtors. And I apologize, I was logged in as staff, so I'm going to log out. This is what the public sees when they go to the Gulf Coast CMLS. They are able to search active commercial listings from here, not only here in Pensacola, but in Alabama. We've got Baldwin County, and we also have Mobile as a partner. And then on the other side, we've got Navarre, the Emerald Coast Association of Realtors, and the Central Panhandle, so all the way down to Panama City. So we've got a true regional commercial MLS here. You can also come in here and get a free account as a PAR MLS member. So if you want to do that, you can create an account. It doesn't cost you anything. You're going to see a little bit more than you would see as just coming in here as a member of the public. So this is something that you can absolutely take advantage of. If you ever do have a commercial listing, it is required that you place it in the Gulf Coast CMLS before you place it into Paragon. With your free account, you can enter a listing. So it's not going to cost you anything. This requirement doesn't. It just requires you to create a free account, put your listing in, and then if you wish, you can put it into Paragon. It's not mandated that you do put it into Paragon, but it is an option for you to do that. So that is our commercial MLS there. The next integration we have here is called the Courthouse Retrieval System. And I'm not going to click on this button because what that does is it takes you to some training videos. So if you want to learn more about the Courthouse Retrieval System, you can click that button. It will take you to their online training videos that they have that will tell you a little bit more about the system. But to get to the Courthouse Retrieval System in the Paragon area, or in the Paragon system, we're going to come up here to the top under our tax icon up here. And you'll notice that we have 2 or 3 options here. What we want to check on is this one here is the tax search itself. So when I do that, it's going to take me into the Courthouse Retrieval System. And they've got some new video tutorials, it looks like. And I'm just going to clear my search out here, but I want to let you know that you can search a number of different ways. And what you're doing is searching, you're searching basically county information, you're searching any public information that they are able to get on any listing, not just the listings in our MLS system, but any listing that you need to look at. So you can search here by the address of the property, by subdivision, by the parcel ID, or because this is also integrated into our MLS, we can search by the MLS number. So if I come up here and decide what county I want to search in, you'll notice that we have a few to choose from. So at this point, I want to search in Escambia County, Florida. So I'm going to choose Escambia County. I can add another one here additionally, and I can just start typing Santa Rosa in. That's going to come up. So I can search by more than one at a time if I'd like to. That's just completely up to you. So I can also come down here and just start typing a name in, if that is the name of the property owner. So if I can do that, or I can come down here and actually choose the name of the person. I can submit that, and it's going to bring up the properties under that particular name. You can also, again, search by address of the property, or if you have the parcel number or the MLS number, any of those work. So I'm just going to pull one up here just to show you what this report looks like. This is a property report from the Courthouse Retrieval System. And you'll notice up here we have several different things we can do with it. We can email it, we can save it as a PDF, or we can print it out. So these are things that you absolutely can give to your clients. It's not, confidential information. It's actually public information. This is just a program that brings it all together for you in a nice area. So we've got the property address, the subdivision, the county, some summaries here. It's a residential property. The square footage is 1706. We have right here a parcel ID image. We can do several things, and I don't have, this isn't I wish I had more time to show you a little bit more information, but this is kind of just an overview of the system. But you can go to a larger map here, or you can upload a custom image if you have a nice picture of the home, even if it's from the MLS. You could upload it there if you would like to. We also have the current owner's information here. So if you're sending this out to a client and you want to hide some of this information, what you can do is click on this little down arrow, and that just kind of hides the information that they don't necessarily need to see. So I'm just going to hide that current owner information. I've also got general parcel information here. I've got a quick link to view the county assessor report. So this is going to take me directly into, it looks like Escambia County. So Chris Jones' site. So this is the Escambia County property appraiser site on this particular, this is the report that they have on this particular listing. So I can see all of the information here. That's just a quick link here for you. We can see the sales history. Looks like they've updated it through, I believe twice a month is when they update that. So we do have some sale history here. We can look at the warranty deeds by clicking this link here, or any information that is on file for that. So that's great information to have. There's also tax assessment information. And then we've got total taxes paid for several years back. So that is also helpful. We also have a mortgage history here that will give you some information. Property characteristics of the building, which includes the square footage here. and any extra features. So I'm going to go through here. Basically, if there's nothing found under here, I'm just going to hide this because I probably just don't want to include this in the report that I'm sending my client. We do have some lot characteristics there, which tells us the square footage and the acreage amount as well. Looks like there's not a whole lot under utilities, so I'm going to hide that. We do have a nice legal description here, so if you're putting a listing into the MLS for the first time, you're having trouble finding the legal description, I would suggest that you go to the Courthouse Retrieval system and bring that listing up. There is a good legal description for you there. And then at the bottom we've got flood zones, and this is directly from FEMA. So this is in the flood zone X. It's a minimal flood risk. It gives us a description of that. But if we want to go directly to the firm panel ID in the FEMA site, we can click on that link and get more information. So this is all great information to have on a property. So when you are ready to send this, you can simply just go to email here. You've got an original and a condensed version. I would recommend the original version. The condensed version, what that does is it takes all of the information I just showed you and it places it on one page, and it scales it down so it's almost impossible to read because it gets so tiny on there. So I would recommend that you do the original version. What this is going to do is going to place it in a PDF format. So you're just putting your email address to your client. This is who it's from, who we're logged in as, and you can put a personal note here and then send that on to your client, or you can just save it to your computer, or you can print it. Either way, that's great information to have with CRS. So just quickly here, again, because this is not a full CRS class, but I do want to show you that there is a prospecting area to the Courthouse Retrieval system, and it is super easy to use. You've got 5,000 downloads per month for you to do. So if you're farming a particular area, what I'm going to do is search here by county. I can search the same things here. I can put a subdivision in. So what I will do is just type in a subdivision. Let's see if I can do that. That's not going to give me what I want. Let me try. See what I've got over here. All right, so that's giving me specific parcels, in this particular subdivision. So without doing a whole class on this, I do want to just get you started. Once we have our subdivision, we can search any of this information, and we're just going to go here and we can start exporting labels or creating labels. So if I wanted to farm this particular subdivision, in just a few clicks, I have all the labels that I need for the entire subdivision if I needed to do a mailer. So I just wanted to quickly get you started with this. If you have questions, you're always welcome to call us here or to call CRS, and they do have a help area up here as well for you. So that is getting to the Courthouse Retrieval system. And just as a review, this link is going to take you to some training classes. To get to Courthouse Retrieval system, you're going to click up here and go into the tax search to get there directly. Okay. All right, so let's talk about Cloud CMA next. This is another third-party integration. This company is known for its quick and dirty CMAs is what they call them. If you click on this button, it will ask you to log in here. It is another way to get to it. However, you can also go up here under Resources and find Cloud CMA. Now, in this scenario, this is actually already has me logged in because I'm logged into Paragon, so it's a little easier to go up to the Resources area to get there. You'll notice that I'm logged in here as Ethical Realtor already, and it's got some of the recent reports that I've done, so I can access those very quickly. But I wanted to show you just quickly how you can do several different reports. It does create very pretty and nice, very professional looking CMAs. If you take my CMA class, I'll walk you step by step on how to pull those out here. You can also create a buyer's tour. So if you're taking a client out to show several properties, you can create a nice professional looking buyer's tour for them here. There is also a property report that you can create, and flyers. They have excellent flyers. Those are very professional. I do recommend that you use the flyer option in Cloud CMA rather than Paragon, because Paragon's is quite dated. This one is going to be giving you very nice professional looking flyers. So this is just an overview again of Cloud CMA. If you want to learn more, again, I have a class that's called Everything CMA, and we go through that step by step. The other integration that I want to show you here is called Realtor's Property Resource. This comes from the National Association of Realtors. So you actually have to be a member of the National Association of Realtors to have an account with RPR. So RPR is a lot like the Courthouse Retrieval system, only this gives you access to any property in the United States. So you can actually come in here and bring up any property that you could ever think or want or look for. So I'm just going to bring up maybe one that I've already searched here before. It's going to ask me for a specific address. I'm going to hit search. I just want to show you what that pulls up. Right away, RPR is known for what's called an RVM, which is a Realtor Valuation Model. This is their version of an AVM, an automated valuation model. It's called a Realtor Valuation Model. And if you want to find out a little bit more about that, you can click on this little information icon here, and it tells you exactly what that is, what that means. So it gives you, it already gives you kind of a starting point here to tell you this is what they believe that property is worth. And we can scroll through here and look at all of the information. There's just so much to go through, so I really don't have time to go through. And we do have RPR classes here that we offer, so I do encourage you to take one of those. But it does give you just so much information here about the property itself, about the home, if there is a home on the property. So all of this information sits here in RPR. Again, there's no additional cost. When I say it's free, you actually pay for this through your NAR dues. So you are a portion of your dues that you pay the beginning of the year go to the National Association, and then a portion that goes to them actually goes to produce this system, which is called Realtor Property Resource, or RPR. So you're actually kind of paying for this. So it's not any additional for you to come in here and utilize this. They do have all kinds of reports and flyers as well. So I just encourage you to get in here and just play with it. You really can't break or hurt anything. So please don't be afraid of that, but come in here and just look at all of the information that you can get from this particular integration. Again, you can find it here, RPR, Realtor Property Resource here. Some of these integrations, I want to show you very quickly, are also available when you're doing a search in the MLS. So I'm going to go here and just do a quick residential search for active properties. And we'll just go, we'll just look for condos here on the beach really quick. Just going to put in a few things here. All right, so I'm just going to search here really quickly some active condos on Pensacola Beach. And I want to show you these action icons because these actually are shortcuts to some of the programs that we've already talked about. So this first one here is going to take you directly to make a flyer through Cloud CMA for this particular property. The second one here will actually give you a property report for this particular property if you choose to do that. The other ones that we've talked about here are RPR. So that's going to take you directly to the RPR information for that particular property. And this one is going to take you directly to the Courthouse Retrieval Property Report. So there are several click-throughs here that are shortcuts once you are looking at information when you're doing a search in Paragon. So I just wanted to point those out quickly to you. These are all shortcuts to these little areas that we've just talked about. And then the last thing, I'm sorry, take that back. It's not the last thing. One of the things I want to talk to you about is our data share here that we've got. So being a member of the Pensacola Association of Realtors also gives you a data share into Emerald Coast Association and the Navarre Association. So they actually share an MLS, and this information here is how you would log into their system. And some of the reasons you might need to log into their system is the Navarre area seems to be kind of an overlap area between the Pensacola Association of Realtors, Navarre, and ECAR. They kind of have an overlap area there where probably half of the listings are listed by ECAR agents and half are listed by Pensacola agents. So if you do have a client that's looking in that area, you would definitely want to search within the Pensacola Association area or the MLS, but you would also want to log into ECAR and make sure that you're not missing anything that's active that maybe just an ECAR agent has listed in that MLS. So when you click on this link here, it's going to give you very specific information on how to log into their system. This is the link that you'll go to. They have a different system than us. It's called Flex. So that's going to take you into their system. Your ID is very specific to you. So when you're logging in, you're going to be entering ecn.pr, and then whatever your agent ID that you use here for the Pensacola Association, you're going to put into the back of that. So if for example, if your agent ID is 4321, then your login would be ecn.pr.4321. Please use your own ID. Don't use the 4321. That will not work for you. In the password, the very first time you log in will be PAOR in lowercase. It will automatically ask you to change that password when you first log in. We cannot see what you've changed it to, so if you ever have any problems, you're going to call this number, which is going to be to the ECAR Association, Emerald Coast Association, and they will give you some information or some help to reset your password if you forget what you've changed it to. So as a data share member, you're able to log into their system. You're able to search any of their listings. You're able to put a client in and actually set them up for an automatic email campaign if that's something that you need to do. So you do have a lot of great information in their system you're able to get to. The only thing that you're not able to do is enter a new listing. You would have to contact them directly to either enter what they call a reciprocal listing or join their MLS to be able to do that. But as a data share, you have access to log into their system and search any of their listings, email those out to clients, and even put clients in and save them. So that is something that you have available. The other association that we have data sharing agreement with is the Central Panhandle Association of Realtors. It used to be called Bay County. This is the Panama City area. They also use Flex. So this will be their link to get to their system. You're going to use bc.pr, and then whatever your agent ID is, you're going to fill it in behind that. Your password the first time will be BC now, and then again it will force you to change that right away. And if you ever need help, then you can call this number here and they can help you log into their system. Again, you have the same access as you would have in ECAR. You can search, you can save clients, you can email out of their system. We also have a data sharing agreement with Franklin and Gulf counties, which is a little further down. And currently, I'm not going to click on this just because currently they have switched vendors, and at this point, we are not able to log into to their system just yet. So as soon as we get that information, I will update that for everybody. Just know that as soon as we're able to log in to their system again, that information will sit in this little icon here. That is also another association or MLS that we share with. Okay. So just as a recap, we have 4 different associations that we data share with. We data share with ECAR, with Navarre, with the Central Panhandle, and with Franklin and Gulf County. So that is 4 total that we have for you to be able to log into and look at their listings, email those out. Their members can in turn log into our system and do the same things. So just to let you know that it also happens. All right, so the last thing I want to talk to you about in this video is showing time. This is a showing company that has been integrated. This works completely without you having to pay any extra money. This is all a part of your MLS dues that you pay. Showing time is a great program for you to be able to request showings or have people request them of you for your listings. Right here, there's a video that you can watch to get started. Excuse me. And then there's also a support link here to get to showing time. And what I would highly suggest, especially if you are new in the system, is under resources up here, there is what's called a showing time setup. So what I want to do is just walk you quickly through this showing time setup. So when we click on that, it's going to take us to our dashboard here. And right away, when you're new, it's going to ask you to edit your profile. So I'm just going to click on this and show you just a little bit of what you can do. You can upload your photo if it doesn't already show there. What you're doing is you are telling it what your defaults need to be. So right away, it asks you your listing agent preferences. You can allow agents to request appointments online, yes or no. That just means you're going to be either emailed or text, however you decide that you want to be notified. You can make those decisions. If you do not want to use showing time at all, you can turn that off by just clicking on no, and that will turn it off completely. I'm going to keep that on yes though. And what is a little bit new here is now we have in-person and virtual appointments. So if you have sellers that say absolutely no in-person showings, you can change this to only virtual appointments. Just keep in mind, this is for all your listings together. We can go in and do each listing separately, but this is kind of an overview of your personal preferences. So I'm going to keep it on in-person and virtual appointments. I do want an appointment required for each one of them. I can set those by listing. If I have a vacant listing, I can set that listing just to be approved automatically. And without taking up too much time here, there are all kinds of notifications that you can get. You choose to get them by email, by text message, or by showing voice. This is a paid service, so there is an additional service that you can pay for that is a little extra. That's going to be very clear to you, though, if you choose one of those options, that they'll let you know that you do have to pay extra for that service. So you will be able to choose how you want to be told about these listing notifications. Down here, we've got showing agent preferences. So it's just, again, you're just choosing how you want to be notified for each of these things. So I do encourage you to go through here and just read these over, make sure everything is the way that it should be. The other thing I wanted to show you here is when you get messages for showing appointments, they will pop up here. So not only will you get either an email or text, but you will get all of your active conversations between agent to agent here in this area. You can also click here and it's going to give you a calendar of all your showings. Mine is empty because I'm not a real estate agent. Ethical Realtor doesn't really exist. But if you were a broker or an agent, all of your listing appointments and showings are going to pop up on this calendar, so you know exactly what showings you've got scheduled, what showings you have for your particular listing that you might be selling, and so on. This listing setup here is when you have an active listing. So I have one here that I did as a test to show you. So if I click on this particular listing, it's going to allow me to have all of these things that are specific to this listing. So if this seller says, I absolutely don't want in-person during this time, we can say virtual appointments only. We can do showing instructions. We can also have some restrictions on here. We can come down here and say appointment is required. Call, go, and show. This is all up to you how you want to set each particular listing up. The great thing, the feature that I did want to show you here very quickly, is that you can add an owner to this, and they will actually be invited to download an app the Showing Time app, and it doesn't cost them anything to download the Showing Time app. But once they do that, they will start to get showing questions. So they're going to say, if somebody requests a showing, it will go directly then to the owner, and they can approve it, or they can deny that showing, or they can request a different time. So instead of everything going through you as the agent, if your owner is willing to do that or wants to do that and be involved with that, you can add them here. It's very easy. We can add an existing, or we can add a brand new person. We're putting all of their information in here. And then what that does is it emails them or texts them invitation to download the Showing Time app on their phone. Again, they can get all of those notifications when there's a request for a showing. They can approve them, they can deny them, or they can suggest another time. So all of that is great for you as an agent. That saves you a little bit of time without having to schedule all those. So this is per listing. Again, you can put all kinds of instructions, driving directions that you want to, and then you're just going to save changes once you're done. The other things you have here in Showing Time are you have a contact area, which I don't believe I have any in there. I might have a seller. Yep, I have a seller in there just for testing purposes. Any feedback that you get will be here. So if you have a showing that has been, the listing that's been shown, any feedback will come into this area, as well as if you've asked it to email you or text you, that will happen as well. There are reports that you can pull here. Some of those, excuse me, can be for your sellers. So there's agent activity reports, there's listing activity reports, and there's showing reports. So this is a really great system, again, for that you have access to at no additional cost. It is all included in your MLS dues that you pay. And of course, if you have any questions on any of these tools that I just went over, please don't hesitate to call the MLS department. We are happy to assist you. Our number here is 850-434-5507.